Hello everyone, so this video I'll just show you how to do the environment light, the bounce light coming from the back, which slightly affects the back of the ball and then gives it this soft look to it. So to do this bounce light, I don't want to establish the ball in the same kind of environment first, so I want to do this not black, this blue light coming from the background. So imagine there's a blue light coming from the top. So that's what's happening here. So below this layer, I'll just below my black ball layer, I'll just create a new layer, and then I'll color pick on this blue color from the background, and use the first brush, and then I'll just use a shift left bracket to soften it, and then I'll make the brush size very big. Okay, you can change the brush size by clicking here and go down to like maybe 1003 or something. And then just now I mentioned the shortcuts is all actually over here, so I was using shift and shift plus this bracket here to soften my brush. Shift and left bracket. Okay, so you can change the brush size to become big first. Change the brush size to become 1004 or something, and then shift and left bracket. See how it becomes softer. Shift and right bracket, it becomes harder. So remember, this is very useful when you're doing painting. You change the brush. Any brush can be softer or harder, and I'll just make it the softest one, and then I'll left click right bracket to change the draw size, and then maybe 1005. I'll just hold down shift, and I'll go to the left like this. Okay, maybe I want it to be a bit lower, so I'll do like this. Okay, very simple. Okay, so this is the top gradient, and the bottom gradient, I'll just hold out, when I'm using a brush, I hold down alternate, I'll color pick at the bottom, and I'll just create a bottom gradient as well. Okay, so maybe the gray gradient, I want to keep it at the bottom. These two layers, I'll just merge it, and then yeah, I'm happy with. So remember, you don't want to paint this background layer above all your layers for digital painting. Has to be in this green folder here, where I created a mask for you. Okay, just a reminder, so you have this restriction over here. So this is okay. This one I can call it my background. And now I'll create the bounce light. So I'll create a new layer above. I'll just alternate left click in between these two layers to make it a clipping mask, as mentioned in this previous video, and I'll name it bounce. So same color that I color pick. See, just now I color pick, and then I actually switch it so I can have this blue on the top, and then I'll use a draw size of about 800, and I'll just go along the edges here, softly like this. So try to stop where the environment is. So you see this line over here? The blue light kind of stops over here on the background. Remember, the bounce light is affected by your background. And then the bottom gray color kind of stops over here. So the blue light will be stronger at the top after this straight line kind of stops. And then if you still want some light from the bottom, you should use probably more like a grayish color, which I'm putting in right here. So I use a very big draw size, guys. You see, I'm always using like 800 or something, and you don't need to go too much. So I kind of just stop right here, so you can see my bounce light kind of stops here. So it just goes outside and then it stops here. Okay, this makes it like a nice soft look. Remember, what you don't want to do is you don't want to, let's say if I create another layer, you don't want to use a small brush to try to do this. This is a mistake. If you try to use a small brush, it becomes very harsh and it's a bit harder to control, and then your brush strokes might be uneven. So sometimes you need things to be big. Okay, so you use the right draw size for the right things. Okay, so this will be a mistake. Just a big brush, you can do it nicely. Okay, so once I have this, I'll just use my I have this bounce light, and then you can see that I'm adding a lot. And let me show you this draw over. There's this area here that is darker on the ball. Look at my draw over. Darker on the ball. On and off. On and off. So the red area is actually where it's darkest. The lighter area is actually over here. So we need to apply this on top of this ball that we have over here. Okay, so I hope you can see that. So that is what I'm doing over here. So on the same bounce, just now I mentioned I use a very big brush, and now I'm going to click layer mask, this icon over here, layer mask. And then once I have a layer mask, I'm on this layer mask. And then when I paint, it will automatically change to black and white. So when I paint black color on this layer mask, I'll actually erase off some of this bounce. Reason I'm using this layer mask is because it allows me to have even more control. Yeah, so see how I erase a little bit? Yeah, so I can reduce the bounce. So I'm restricting it to where I'm telling you this side should be darker and darker. So just now I have a big bounce like this, and then I can further reduce it like this. You can also use eraser, but I prefer to use layer mask because I can bring it back. So like, let's say if I were to change this brush to white and black, I can bring back my bounce. Okay, I bring back my bounce. You can't do that with eraser. So that's the rationale I'm using layer mask over here. Alright, next video I'll show you more on the creating the darker parts of this ball. Alright, see you in the next video. Bye bye.